for the when we have multiple items in the cart, right? So I think we are good on this one. We are just waiting for a response from Mike. I think that is also happening for the existing other scenarios. That's the existing defect. And if we need to fix that, I think we can fix that as a separate story in this sprint or later sprints. But
Yeah,
if
I mean,
select,
I need to understand what we're actually talking about before, because you can resolve multiple lines without an issue. Are we saying somebody is trying to click all of the things and then click resolve?
yeah,
Yes.
'Cause- Okay. Yeah, I mean, if they're trying to click all the things and then they're clicking resolve and then that causes an issue, then that's okay. They know they're supposed to handle one at a time
yeah,
on the floor.
yeah,
So I'm less worried about that. But that doesn't have anything to do with what Joanne was seeing, though, right? Where we just weren't triggering it for all three. That was different, and that was handled.
yeah, that was handled.
Okay, then yes, we can split that off if you click all three and resolve it. We if we need a different story to handle that, that's fine. We can split that off.
Yeah. And that is happening for existing scenarios as well, Mike. So
Yeah,
Raji,
no, yeah, I believe I've seen that
yeah,
before, so
and
I
Raji
understand
can
that.
fix that
They
also,
know
right?
better than that on the floor, so they shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a system constraint when we built this because if you resolve one, then it's rechecked to see if any others could be resolved without having user action. But in the case of uh, this flip thing, every single one, if it requires a flip, will have to be intervened. So I think that's kind of where the issue lied. But we could potentially create a card. But if it's part of the SOP for them to do one at a time, then I don't think it'll be a huge issue. And I don't think when the steps for this test were written, it was explicitly stated to do one at a time. So we can make sure that that's the case moving forward.
So is this okay then to move back to testing? Or I guess I should say exit Amigo.
Yeah, I think should go to exit amigo.
I do we need to retest that one scenario though?
Yeah, I'll
Doing
just
it
put it
one
in
at a
test
time?
Yeah,
message.
yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll retest the one scenario. But keep in mind, I don't know, Joanne, if you understand what we're saying, but when you have the three items, you have to click one radio button, then resolve. Then the page reloads with two. Click one and then resolve, and then the page reloads with the last one, and then you click one and then resolve. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
one at a time.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. All right. Um, for the other cards that are in progress, 14544. Any updates or blockers?
No, Alicia, I'm working on it.
Okay, great. That's fair. 13830, same thing. Any questions, blockers?
No, Alicia, I'm good. I started working on this.
Great, thank you. 103. I'm sorry, 13062. Veracode item.
Yeah, I'm working on this. Still in progress.
Okay, great. And 12563.
Yeah, this is in progress, Alicia. Non-impediments.
Awesome. Thank you. For the cards that aren't in progress, 13373, 14401, and 14130. Any updates, or at least for these top two, do we know who's going to take them?
Alicia, that last one, that is 14130, that tomorrow I will pick that.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yep.
Alicia, like 137, yeah, please.
On my name, I'll do it now. It's a small change only.
Sorry, say that again.
14401.
Okay. Tosha, you're taking that?
Yeah, just assigned to me.
Any has it been started yet? Do I need to move it in progress or just calling let you do that too if you haven't started it. Right. And then 13373, reorder demographics screen.
I will take it.
Pretty, okay, cool. Thanks. All right. Any open items on any of the cards that are in sprint or priority for refinement?
I have one question regarding 14344 Alicia, which is in refinement.
Sure. Over there.
Can you open it? So I have added a comment. So basically, when we click on submit after selecting PHI release, like what should be the event message code that should be sent in the communication routing call that we do?
Like, I'm gonna defer to you.
I wasn't aware there was a. What do we mean by message?
I think this might be a question we can ask Dave Bedansky.
Yeah, I don't know what that message. Triggering an actual UI message, or are you saying this is a message to OnBase?
Not the UI message, Mike. Basically, when we click on submit in the background, we are doing a PCF call. This is the sample PCF call which I have pasted here that we are doing for patient consent. So when we implement this one, where PHI release will be added. So when we select PCF PHI release and click on submit, so what exactly should be there in this call?
I think it's going to be new. It doesn't exist right now, so we have to figure out what we need to include. I have a meeting scheduled with Dave Bedansky today, so maybe we can ask him what would be necessary in the PCF for OnBase to pick up.
Okay. Yep.
Awesome. All right, so we'll get back to you on that, Vikram. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, I would need a dev design card, card on the refinement board. Because I don't have anything to work on in this sprint actively. So,
okay.
Bhavna, I'm almost done with the insurance search. I don't know if that's one you can pick up.
Yeah, please assign it to my name.
Okay, I'll assign it to you when I'm done. It should be done by
You
the
can
end of the
pick
day.
up this is 13362 Bhavna if you want. I can explain it to you. So
sure, I'll connect with you.
okay.
Okay.
And then just update the assignee if whichever one's being picked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else in need?
I'll be on the call.
Say that again, Julian. Sorry.
Is Ali on the call?
Yes, I am.
Ali, I'm not on my desk yet. Can you please try with your data that you created yesterday to test the replacement to resolve one at a time and not select all of them and then resolve one?
Yes, John. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Sure. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, just full transparency, 10273. We are looking at getting it sized, getting the documentation, getting it sized, and then pulling it into the next sprint. Just a heads up on that. It's with Brad and Rom for the SAP logging. Just full transparency.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other items or 16-minute topic?
I did want to throw a couple things out there. So I did put another defect in dev design if someone's looking for a card. Um, it was that 13883. Um, so they've been seeing this a bunch of actual stuff with product specific questions actually, but this one was out there that they found when they were doing the SAP testing. They retested it in stage and saw that it was a problem in stage as well. So I put this one out there and pulled it in. So if anybody's looking, I don't know which one handles the response from ODM on the product specific questions, if that's PCF or Hybris, but we can take a look at that one if someone needs
It's
something
easier,
to look at.
Mike.
Okay, that's what I was hoping, because I know we didn't have much PCF to pull in this time, so I was trying to get a little extra PCF work across this refinement so that hopefully next sprint we can take a little bit more points instead of being stuck with only Fed work and being single threaded there. The other thing that I put out is a news story. I don't know that it actually needs any kind of testing. Well, I mean, we can probably test it, but if you go back to the board, I think it's on the business analysis side of things. My board's not working right now. If you go down, it's probably at the bottom of business analysis. Yeah, so that last one, 14771. So I know we talked about this a little bit before, how there was a couple different fixes they wanted that came out of the last migration when we had all the problems. So we just pulled the first one into Sprint, where we did an update to a value. This is another update to a value. So right now we have that configurable value that we allow up to 3 days when somebody clicks on add to cart from either the eligible bucket on the continue care page, or if they click one click, we minus 3 days, up to 3 days from their reorder date and mark it as their next eligible ship date. The business wants to use 5 instead of 3. So pretty straightforward. I don't know if we feel like we have to test that or not, because again, it's already working with the 3. All we're doing is updating a numerical value, but I'll leave it up to the team. I left it as a text story. So I don't know that, especially if we don't feel like we need a test here, then we can just move this to dev design and somebody can start working on that as well.
I would think we'd need a test, right? We want to make sure it didn't break.
I mean, I'll leave it up to the team on whether or not I can see both ways, so I don't necessarily lean heavily in one way or the other. I get that we want to test, especially around continue care, because it's a hot button issue, but it is also just updating a value, right? So, and we set it to be a configurable value, so it shouldn't break just because we change it from 3 to 5. But I'll leave it up to the team.
Yeah, and it won't need a tech design because I mean tech-wise we are not changing really anything. So once we create the test cases, we can move it ready for dev.
Okay, are we okay? I don't think we need an acceptance criteria here, right? So I can just move it to, we can just move it to test analysis if we want to write a quick test to just test the regular, you know, um, test a regular
Quick question
continue
on
care order.
that. My
Yep.
quick question. Not in front of my computer yet. So when we test the date, should I look at the database for the next cadence in the UI or in back office?
You're gonna have to look at what the next eligible ship date gets set to, so it should tell you at the end of the order most likely, because it should be out. So what you're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to have
Yeah, sure.
and this is again why I don't even know if we can test this very easily or not, because you're gonna have to have an order that has a ship date out enough days that subtracting 5 doesn't make it today, right? So you'd have to have it at least pushed out 6 days. And I don't know the best way of doing that. I guess maybe if you did a supply period of like 14 days, then we'd still communicate the next day. But it should be trying to, the reorder date would be set out 14 days. So at least then you'd see the -5. So you'd see a date that was out 11 days from the day you were currently on. If you looked at the first next day, you have to look at it numerically, but that's what you probably have to do to be able to test this. The other thing that we'll have to do is make sure we'll have to look up and make sure that we're using a plan that has at least a 5-day grace period. Because again, if it has less than the 5-day grace period, then it's using the grace period instead.
It's a lot of details. Can you please write it in the card? I will cover with the test case. So you're saying that I should go into the continue care tab, not in the order, and look for the date.
So we'll probably have to test it both ways in the continue care and the one click. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place an order and ship it for 14 days from now. So you're gonna pick 2 weeks as the supply period. And then ship the order.
Okay.
The next day you should get communications because we communicate 14 days early, right? So it'll be eligible the next day. When you go in there and place the order, what we should be doing is we should be seeing that instead of the reorder date, when we pick the order, we should be getting the next eligible ship date of reorder date -5 days.
Order date
So
minus.
it should be pushing out 11 days from the current day that you're on. Well, not 11 days, sorry. It should be pushing out,
10.
what, 9 days out from the current day that you're on.
From system date. I'll ask you if I have any questions. I
Sure.
wrote it down. Thank you.
I put a quick comment in the card, Joanne. I'm not sure I caught everything, but it should at least give you the basic idea.
Thank you.
And then I guess just from there, let me know if we still need more cards to work. I only just had one other question. I think we assigned that one that's above that 13883 a while ago, and I thought it was just an L2 request. So do we know where that's at? That's been sitting out for a long time.
Which one, Mike? Sorry.
The one that your mouse was almost on. Continue care tab 4 template. That one. Did we do an L2 request for this one yet? Because it's been hanging out for quite a bit.
We may have had people drop.
Okay. Yeah, if we can just follow up and have somebody
follow up on it.
make the L2 on this, yeah, just so that we can get it out of there. Because it's been hanging around for a while. Thanks.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.